All right, welcome to today's training, Establishing Business Credit. Got my biggest cheerleader here with me. And I am Nakia Evans. I am a real estate agent, and I actually established my business from 2015 to 2018. 75% of my clients came from a credit workshop, credit home buyer workshop. Whereas though I wanted to introduce the home buyer piece, but a lot of people had reservations related to credit, and they didn't want to talk about the home buyer piece because they thought that their credit was not good enough to buy a home. So I thought of the bright idea of developing credit workshops, and I actually built a brand called Credit Workshop 101. And this brand is still here. If you go to creditworkshop101.com, you can get your personal credit fixed. You can get established business credit. But what happened is that I started working with people who thought the answer was no, when really the answer could be yes with a tweak here or there. They just didn't know how to use credit, or they didn't know how to establish credit. So I love talking to potential clients and clients about credit, but I also love talking to agents about credit, because if agents build an understanding for credit and they start utilizing credit properly, then not only will that help them in their lifestyle and in their business, but it will also, they'll be able to help their clients. Also, they'll be able to turn that no into a yes without sending their clients off and away to a lender or somebody else. Now, what I will tell you is that this did overwhelm me just a little bit, because then every client thought that I would fix their credit personally. So I had to have a partner who would do most of the credit stuff. So if you are going to talk about credit, I implore you to go ahead and get a partner first. That is their line of business, that is their specialty. So that way you have a referral partner or someone to partner up with when talking to clients about credit. Otherwise, they will tie you down. So why is business credit good for real estate agents? First of all, if you are running your real estate business like a business, then you have an EIN number, you may have an LLC, you may have a partnership, you have some type of tax entity where so you have an employee identification number. That number is going to be required for what we will be talking about. So if you already have that, congratulations, you are already partly there. If you don't, you might want to talk to your accountant. You may want to talk to your tax advisor about registering your business and getting a separate number, which is your EIN number, to run all of your business finances through. And in order to have business credit, you are definitely going to have to register a business and get an employee identification number, because you are not going to establish business credit with your own personal social security number. Also, when you have a business, your business is going to have a DUNS number. You register for a DUNS number. You request a DUNS number for free. That's a 9-digit number that people look up your company's credit profile and financial health before they agree to do business with you. That is like the Equifax TransUnion for businesses, okay? Even though those entities are here for businesses as well, but DUNS and Dun & Bradstreet is one of the 3 major credit bureaus for businesses, all right? So you want to make sure that you also apply for a DUNS number, all right? Next up, you will apply for a business credit card. I tell real estate agents to get a business credit card to track expenses, to track business expenses, and to track those fees, your MLS fees, your association fees, your license, your business expenses, your office supplies, business supplies. You're going to use a business credit card instead of your personal credit cards to run these expenses through. Number 1, for record keeping purposes, but number 2, to keep everything separate and to also not tie up your personal credit. You guys always hear, what's my word? You always hear debt to income ratio, right? Your debt to income ratio. Well, if you are paying your business expenses with your personal credit or your personal credit cards, that's going to tie up some of your debt to income ratios. But what happens when you do a business credit card, that doesn't go into play under your own personal social security number. And that's why you have an EIN number and they have the Dun & Bradstreet, because you're going to now move business credit and business fees and expenses over to the business credit, and it won't appear on your personal credit report. So you have to still keep in mind that it's 30% rule still stands. And your personal credit, if you don't know this, here's a tip for your personal credit. All of your credit cards need to be under the 30% of usage. So if your credit card max is 1,000, then really, truly, you only are supposed to be using $300. If it's 10,000, you're only supposed to be using 3,000. Once you go over and above that, it starts to get tricky with your credit score. So you want to be careful with your usage on credit cards, whether it's personal or business, okay? But the best thing to just remember is the 30% rule. I made lots of friends teaching them the 30% rule. When you change your balances, when you pay down expenses down to that 30% and under, your credit score explodes. And that was the fastest way we used to be able to get clients' credit scores up and get them rescored in order to get approved for loans, okay? Missed payments and delinquencies, all right, it's going to provide a negative on your personal and on your business. So you got to pay everything on time. So make sure you keep everything in order. The same way we established the online apps for our personal credit cards, or schedule a budget, the same way we do everything personally, you're also going to do on those business credit cards, so that you keep your business credit profile clean and looking really well. All right, trade lines. Trade lines are with suppliers, okay? Some well-known business office suppliers or business suppliers are Granger, Office Depot. You can establish accounts with them instead of going to the store or ordering online with your personal credit card. They do offer businesses lines of credit or trade lines, okay? And I'm going to share with you the easiest ones to use. Uline, Granger, Quill. That's my favorite one. Quill was actually my first business credit account. Quill. So if you order office supplies for your home, or if you order office supplies for your office, you are going to want to make sure that probably the very first account you apply for is Quill, because Quill will most likely go ahead and approve you, and you can start out your credit experience, your business credit experience with that. Now, they do report to the credit bureau, so I'll talk about that in just a second. Payment history. If you know anything about regular credit, payment history is the same thing. You need to pay your creditors early. On time is good, but early is even better. Dun & Bradstreet, they give you a paydex score. No, in personal, we have a credit score, but Dun & Bradstreet gives you the paydex score, which measures your payment history, okay? And it tells when you pay things early. So that's another great factor. So you got the 30% rule, and then you have the pay bills early. That's going to increase your chances for more business credit. All right. Again, you want to borrow only from lenders who report to credit bureaus. There are some creditors that don't report to Dun & Bradstreet, won't report to the other entities. So you want to make sure that you are asking before you actually open the accounts if they report to the business credit bureaus. If they don't, you might want to think about going a different way, because you need the report, you need the paydex score, you need to show and prove that you know how to use credit, know how to use business credit. Same as your credit report shows that you know how to use credit personally, you want your business, you want to show that you know how to use business credit also. Okay. Their online business loans, they are now a little more easier accessible. I'm going to share with you some of the credit lines and some of the people that loan businesses money a little bit faster. Some of them may include Lending Club, Funding Circle, Blue Vine, and On Deck. They all report to the business credit bureaus, okay? Stay away from SmartBiz, Fundbox, and any other like cash advance services and cash services that don't report. Keeping your information current with all three bureaus. As with your personal credit, you are going to make sure that everything is correct in your business profile. All right, so that is your address, your business name. You want to make sure there are no errors on those reports, okay? So with same as your business credit, you want to make sure that with the three bureaus for business, Dun & Bradstreet, Experian, and Equifax, you want to make sure all of the three main credit bureau profiles are correct. You want to check your business credit score with all three. Ensure all trade lines are there and accounted for. If there are any errors, you need to report to the creditor. If there are any negative marks, you need to figure out and get that fixed. If the address of your business is not correct, if it's one letter off, if there's a misspelling, you want to get that correct, and you want to contact those credit bureaus, Dun & Bradstreet, Experian, and Equifax, and get them to make it corrections for you. Now, the easiest credit card for businesses to apply for and to get approved is Capital One Spark. There are tons of Capital One Spark cards. Let me show you. One thing I missed discussing is if you have bad credit, you can still get business credit. If you have bad personal credit, you can still get business credit. There are different cards. If you take, when you go to Capital One's credit profile, they'll show you the ones you can apply for. If you have excellent credit, they will show you if you have good credit, fair credit, and they even probably have something if you don't have that greater credit. I guess they're probably calling it the fair credit. Now, they don't want you, even though this really doesn't matter because your business is always separate from your personal credit. But if you don't know how to use credit personally, more than likely you're going to abuse business credit. So let's probably discuss how to do better personally with credit before you go applying for business credit, because you never want to get a bad profile with your business credit. This business credit goes a long, long way, especially because it's separate and it doesn't appear on your personal profile and it doesn't mess with your debt to income ratio. If you're running a business, you never want the business to have you looking bad on the personal side. And that's why this business credit is a great way to separate expenses, finances, etc. So if you need to build your credit, start with this credit building Spark One Classic. And they even outline all of the fees, the rewards, if there's an annual fee, how much the purchase rate, APR, and take a look at that. This is why you want better credit. Your APR is 0%, 12 months if you got good credit. But if you don't have credit or you need fair credit or it's not looking good for you, look at that purchase rate, 29.74%. I bet you if we go up here to the excellent ones, they have some really good interest rates, or they have, oh, look at that. Yeah, you got to watch. You definitely want to watch the purchase rate, and you want to watch an annual fee, okay? Now, even though this one is for people with excellent credit, it still has this purchase rate, this high purchase rate. No annual fee here, but on this one, this is a pay in full card. So you always, when you're applying for credit, you always want to watch the criteria, okay? Watch the criteria and compare. And that's why I like this Capital One website, because they put everything on one page. You can compare all of their cards, okay? Now, let's go to the next easiest one, American Express. Who knew American Express would be easy for business credit users, right? But they do have some business credit cards that are easy, and they range from their regular standard card all the way up to the gold card, the silver cards, and all that good stuff. Now, the first one you would apply for would be this American Express. They even have a business line of credit too. That's what I wanted to showcase with American Express today. They have a business line of credit, and they're giving you some money back for applying right now. So if you don't have American Express, or if you don't have 6 American Express lines or 6 American Express accounts, you can do this American Express business line of credit. If you have American Express, here's a key thing people don't know. Some people won't know in credit. You personally, as one person, whether it's you or your business, collaboratively, you can have up to 6 American Express accounts, 6 American Express credit cards. So if you are going to split it up amongst your personal credit and your business credit, you may have 3 different cards for business, and you may have 3 different cards for personal. But either way you do it, you cannot have more than 6 American Express credit cards at a time. Bankrate. If you go to bankrate.com, I wanted to show you this website because they actually give you a list. And this list is really, it was updated on February 7th, 2 days ago, by the way, how timely. 17 best small business credit cards of February 2023. And they list them all out. Okay, this is a great resource. Go to Bankrate and in the search bar, look up business credit. There's that Capital One Spark card, right, that we saw. Here's some other ones. Inc. Visa, Capital One Spark again, Bank of America. I actually have a Bank of America business account and business credit card. They were, if you bank with Bank of America, they're easier to get. But if you don't bank with Bank of America, they're still one of the best business cards to have. Looks like Inc. Visa is coming up a lot. There's American Express, y'all. The Blue Business Plus credit card for American Express. When you go to Bankrate, you can also apply now. You can click right there and apply for these cards. Just again, make sure you are comparing the annual fees, the APR, and recommended credit scores, or what your personal credit looks like in order to apply for some of these. Now, they will be separate accounts. These business cards will not appear on your personal credit, but creditors do want to take a look at you and your personal habits and your personal credit habits before they want to extend credit to you. So just take a look at it. Some of them may say fair to excellent. Some of them may say fair to good, but most of them, if you notice, say excellent or good to excellent. They do want you to know how to use credit. There are just a few for fair, etc. Fair or good credit, or just no credit. How about that? There's a question on no credit. If you don't have any credit, can you establish business credit? Well, you just have to apply to see. All right. So don't forget, this is the key here. Bankrate, bankrate.com. Then go right on to this search bar, type in business credit or small business credit cards, or February 2023, something 17 best in that search bar, and that will lead you to this list. And this is the list of business credit cards that I suggest you apply for. Get 1, get 2, get 3. How many ever you think are necessary. But that is what I wanted you to know mostly about business credit and establishing business credit, and why you need business credit, and why you need to know a little bit about business credit, because some of your buyers will also come in and they will be using their personal credit for their business expenses. So if you can intelligently talk to them about business credit and have them to start using some business credit instead of personal credit, that may free up some of their debt to income ratios. And we know lenders love low debt to income ratios so that buyers can buy more house. All right, that is my presentation, and I thank you for attending today.